What's up? What's up? What's up? Is anybody out there? How y'all doing today? Happy lunchtime to everybody. Happy lunchtime to everybody. See if anybody out there enjoying some lunch. What's up, El Teddy? What's up, Abby? How y'all doing today? I like that look, Abby. I like that look. Hey, Diva. How you doing, boo? Hey, Lioness. How you doing? Welcome to the room. Welcome, 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 babe. Let me try to get into today. Abby been beating her face for 2 damn hours, child. I know your face tired, honey. Y'all know I'm just on my little lunch break. Y'all, my kids are doing presentations. Their Black History Month presentations. Honey. Woo. That's all I can say about that. Ooh, that's all I got. I actually had some pretty good ones, though. But a couple of them, child, I don't know what they were doing. It's A-Day. You know, B-Day, I only get a 30-minute lunch. A-Day is when I get to relax, child, and digest my damn food. Hey, Mama Sick. I didn't see you, boo. You know, girl, don't do me. You know that. You know me. Hey, Bobo. Yes, but let's talk about it. Okay, so my title is Slavery: A History Part 2. Because, you know, I had to do slavery, a history earlier this week. So we talked about the sexualization of the slave and black women, and, you know, that evolved into a whole conversation. And I thought it was a really, really good conversation. And, you know, once again, ignorant people speak upon things that they obviously don't understand and make ignorant comments about slave food. First of all, turning your nose down on slave food as if you are, like, it's beneath you or something. First of all, let's talk about the word slave food. Let's just talk about it. Okay? Because once again, I need people to understand the depth of slavery. Okay? You might have to go live after me. What you going to talk about, El Teddy? What you talking about? What your live going to be about? What your live going to be about, sir? So slave food, by definition, I mean, it's just what it sounds like. It is the food that the slaves ate. Why is it a thing? Why is it the food that the slaves ate? Slaves were given the scraps. Slaves were given what was left over from the carcasses after massa took what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? And slaves also, when it comes to vegetables, the same thing. What could they grow in the garden? What did other people look at and throw away and say, not so much? Turnip greens and collard greens, things of that nature. Neck bones, hog maws, pig feet, chitterlings, all of these things. And again, I am not saying that these are things that I eat in present day, because most of them I do not. I don't eat the pig feet. I don't eat the chitterlings. I don't eat those things. However, let's not disrespect and degrade the fact that our ancestors had to. That is what they were given, and I think they turned lemons and made lemonade, because who don't like their cornbread? Who don't like their grits? You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I love me a collard green, child, and a good turnip green, honey. And once again, we are dealing with ignorant people who want to rewrite history for their own ignorant purposes and turn something as serious as slavery into a punchline. And I just, as black people, if this truck hit me, y'all, I'm telling you now, I'm gonna fall out my car and roll on the ground, and y'all just gonna have to hear the sound, cause okay, he straightened up, okay, cause he looked like he was about to slam hit me, and I just want y'all to know that it was gonna be a problem. Anyway, somebody challenged you to explain all 22 letters in the spectrum. First of all, I didn't even know there was 22 letters in the spectrum, so I would be interested in seeing that live myself. But yeah, and so as a historian and as just a damn decent human being, hey YBS Mary, I have a problem with people once again. We're making fun. We're playing with something as serious as slavery. I just don't understand why we're playing with it. You know, I don't understand why we're playing with it. First of all, if you are confused, there's this thing called, as I like to call it, I tell my students all the time, Google University. There's this other place. I know a lot of y'all don't use it these days. You know, it's empty most days. People don't pay it no attention. There's this place called a library, and it's full of books. And those books have information. And if for whatever reason you find yourself lacking in the department of information, you know, it's open. You know, it stay open on weekends. You know, it has late days, all that shit. I don't understand why we choose to walk around in ignorance and make ignorant ass statements about slavery. You know, so I say all that to say, fast forward to 2020. It's quote unquote slave food, which evolved into what we now call soul food, okay? Slave food evolved into soul food. And just like anything else, certain things are regional. There are things that people on slave plantations in Maryland, yes, slavery was in Maryland, would eat differently. This stuff on the slave plantations in Georgia. But by definition, it is what the scraps that were left over. For example, certain types of seafood were not always considered to be a delicacy. Certain types of fish, frying food versus baking the food. Okay. Hush puppies, hoe cakes, cornbread, all of that, slave food. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know how I do this. I'm eating while we're talking. Hey, Karen Wilson. Good afternoon. And so once again, I'm offended and appalled by somebody using something that even go into modern time, into 2020, the fact that slave food, which evolved into soul food, which still affects us today as a people when we start getting into obesity and we start getting into unhealthy eating habits and certain foods that we love to eat because that's what we grew up on. I mean, myself, we had a really good conversation earlier this week in reference to obesity and eating habits and healthy living and things of that nature. It's not a myth that black people deal with obesity at higher rates. And a lot of it goes back to our diet. And for a lot of us, our diet is created from what we've always known family. Think of your family recipes. Think of what grandma's favorite dish was. Think of what that recipe that's been passed down from generation to generation to generation. Think about what you learned how to cook as a child. My mama taught me how to fry chicken, make macaroni and cheese. You know what I'm saying? We made sweet potato pies. All of that is slave food, which evolved into soul food. And anything in moderation is fine. We know that, right? But when you think about our diet as a people, not individually, that is what was passed down to us generation through generation through generation. And so once again, we're talking about something that is a part of our legacy that makes us who we are as a people. And so it pisses me off when once again I hear people showing their ignorance of what our ancestors dealt with. They took lemons and made lemonade, and I think that is something to be applauded. Slave food. If there were no slave food, if slaves did not figure out a way to take what they were given and make it stretch and reinvent it and make it their own, where would we be? And just because in your part of the country, hog maws are not considered, or neck bones or whatever, are not considered to be quote unquote soul food, doesn't mean that it's not soul food. And I need you to understand that soul food does not encompass things that the master would have eaten. That's not soul food. Because soul food came from slave food, and slave food was the scraps. So filet mignon will never be soul food. I don't care what table you put it on. I don't care what meal you serve it at. Y'all see what I'm saying? Oh, thank you, Lady Nika. Hey, boo, I know you at work today. Hey, number one Eagle fan. You said, oh, Karen Wilson said, okay, yes, sometimes it's a food, but we don't exercise a lot. No, it's definitely different. It's definitely different. Hey, Caramel Kisses. Hey, I ain't seen you in a while, boo. It's definitely different elements. I'm not saying it's a one-stop shop as to what is an issue when it comes to obesity. It's definitely a variation of things. Don't get me. Don't get that. Don't get me. I don't want you to think that's what I'm saying, because that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, when you look at, you can find studies that have been done in reference to, black people and their diet, and, a lot of that diet is stuff that's been passed down to us that we just always have done. And when we think about it, when we think about, like I said, grandma's recipe, auntie's this, so on, so here come another one. Why do these motherfuckers act like they trying to hit? Oh, excuse me, I ain't mean to curse. Why that Verizon truck looked like it was about to hit me? Now, y'all know if the Verizon truck hit me, y'all know I was going to roll out this car, honey, and lay on that ground till the ambulance showed up. You do know that, right? If that good old Verizon truck had just hit me, baby, I don't even have nothing Verizon, but I bet you I'll have it next week. Hey, Shelby, how you doing, baby? Yeah, so I'm just, I just thought we rap a little bit about soul food. To the people in the chat, y'all tell me, okay? To the people in the chat, and I know, my little brother El Teddy. El Teddy likes to cook, honey. He likes to cook. El Teddy, what's that recipe? That one recipe that Grandma passed down to you? Abby, Karen, Lady Nika. Lady Nika is a cook as well. What's that recipe? The other day she was talking about hoe cakes. I have read about, not hoe cakes. Did you say hoe cakes? What were they? That you gave your grandbaby the other day, Lady Nika. I thought you said hoe cakes. But I've read about hoe cakes and stuff, but I don't think I've ever had one. Tea cake. Was it tea cake? Anyway, I've never had one. I've read about them